So, there's been a lot of people talking recently about ChatGPT and AI in general and how it will change our society for better or for worse. In this video, I'm just going to talk about the most notable things about all this AI stuff, my opinions on it, and whether it will truly take over the world. I want to hear you guys' opinions about all this in the comments, and make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed the video. So there's actually a few different big AI services right now. The most famous, or infamous depending on who you talk to, is ChatGPT. This one allows you to, well, chat with it. It can tell you all sorts of useful information, although it does get stuff wrong sometimes, or you can just have a normal conversation with it. A lot of people seem to spend their time trying to trick it into saying offensive stuff. One problem with this AI is the heavy limits put on it by its creators. It can barely say or talk about anything that could be seen as even remotely controversial, which is really annoying when trying to use it. People have figured out how to surpass this most of the time, but it's still a big pain. I think to remain as the main AI for text-related stuff, ChatGPT needs to remove this system or at least make it less over the top. People are fed up with it, and a competitor could come along any moment and steal the spotlight. That's one thing about this AI stuff that's so interesting. Pretty much any industry you look at is almost completely owned by a few huge mega companies, and some of the big tech names are even trying to get in on this AI stuff. But right now, there are a lot of potential AI programs that could become huge, and I think we might see the emergence of a few more big corporations very soon. Because you can't really just become a big movie company or a big music label or anything like that at the moment. All that huge companies are just like that because they were the first to get in on the business when it was blowing up. There's big potential for smaller companies to sweep in right now and become the next giant. But ChatGPT isn't the only AI that's making the rounds on the internet right now. Far from it. There's also a whole flood of image creating AIs, the most notable ones being Dall-E, Stable Diffusion, and Midjourney. There's a lot of controversy about the way they collect pieces of art from online and use that data to generate their own art, and whether that's stealing or if it violates copyright. There's also the issue of whether you can even copyright something that you generate with AI, and whether it's artistically valid to show off your generated images as if you created them. Some people say that learning how to prompt the AI to generate better images is hard and should be recognized as a skill, and some say that you can only be proud of a piece of art if you created it. One interesting point that the first group makes here is that what these AIs are doing is basically the same thing as what our brains are doing, looking at images and using those ideas to create something new. There are also AIs that can make musicians sing songs that were made by other artists to some hilarious results.
And you'll never know your story like I do.
These aren't as mainstream though, as the process for creating them is pretty complex compared to simpler AIs like Dall-E and ChatGPT. This program seems harmless at first, but then you realize that it's actually possible for people to create fake albums by popular artists using their own voice turned into the voice of that artist. This has already happened a few times, and disputes over copyright and whether it's legal to do this are raging. Morality comes into play as well, as I have no doubt we'll eventually see people, or maybe even record labels, trying to create new albums by dead artists to make more cash off of their legacy. Obviously these will probably be terrible and an insult to the artist's legacy, but even if they were well made, is it like morally okay to do this? It seems very weird to put words in the mouth of a dead person, even if you think you're accurately predicting what they would say. I don't have time to talk about every AI program that's become popular recently, but needless to say, there are a lot more out there. So it's time to answer the ultimate question: will AI take over the world? I think the answer is no, but not for the reason people are saying. I think it could actually be good for our society as a whole. See, I think a common viewpoint is that AI will never be able to create something without it being obviously AI generated, but cases are already popping up of this being proven false. I don't think that AI will be unable to generate something that's truly soulful or interesting, and that looks or sounds or reads like a human created with artistic intent. I think the reason that AI will not take over the world is that you can't stop humans from creating things. Even if big studios use AI to pump out uninteresting content, or small studios use it to create something of a higher scope than they could achieve otherwise, there will always be people who create art for the sake of it, not for fame or money. Will it be hard to make money off of being creative? Maybe, but it already is. There's a possibility that AI could allow for more creative freedom, because currently a lot of forms of art are heavily restricted by the fact that they take tons of money, time, and manpower. Imagine if anyone with an idea could create a live-action movie, a AAA video game, or a star-studded album. A lot of garbage and unoriginal things would be created, but art has been that way since the beginning of time. AI might greatly change the way our civilization works, or might just be another passing trend. But even if it becomes a bastion of culture and creativity, I think overall in the end humans will be fine. But whatever happens, you can be assured of this: it will be interesting. Thanks for watching the video. I want to hear you guys' opinions about this stuff in the comments, and please subscribe if you like the video. I know all YouTubers say that and it's stupid, but it works. Peace.